We're at the Timberline parking lot on Mount Hood. It's windier than the weather predicted. So a lot of people think that Mount Hood is a walk-up, meaning that you just literally walk up and down the mountain. Mount Hood is actually quite technical. It's not like Mount Adams or Mount St. Helens, which are relatively walk-ups.
This is my 11th essential.
Is this full?
93.
With a quick test of our avalanche beacons, we hit the snow. 1 foot in front of the other, a steady way to work towards a goal, the obvious way to climb a mountain. About 10,000 people attempt Mount Hood every year. Just watch some online videos, read some trip reports, acquire the right gear, and it means you're ready to climb, right? Well, not quite. My teachers were Paige Balker and Teresa Dalsager with Portland Mountain Rescue. The nonprofit volunteer organization responds when folks get into trouble on Mount Hood, but the mission of education is just as important.
And generally what a snow school does is it teaches basic technique, walking technique, cramponing technique, ice axe technique, self-arrest technique.
Paige is a rescue leader with PMR. She walks us through various step techniques.
Out of balance, in balance, move your axe. There's front pointing, which is probably most of what we're gonna do, because on this mountain, it's heavily traveled and there are generally well-established boot packs, which are where people have gone before.
The snow was soft enough to practice several techniques and get comfortable with the ice tools, which could also describe the guy holding the axe. It can get pretty icy higher up on Mount Hood. Good to get a feel for these techniques in a controlled setting.
Yeah, you just fall right on it.
Yeah, so
And you did exactly the right thing to grab it as low as you can, right there, right? So it doesn't lever out. There's two different ways, right? You can hold it. You can hold it in either what's called the self-arrest position, where the palm of your hand is on the pick, right? This is the self-arrest position because it's easier to self-arrest that way. And then there's the mountaineering position, which is kind of the preferred position where the palm of your hand is on the adze. And this is a little bit more preferred because it's more comfortable. So it's not just a cane, you want to plant it because if your feet do slip out from under you, you just fall on your axe, right? And then that'll stop you. It's called a self-belay.
On the mountain, you'd want an ice tool for each hand. Next, we did some self-arresting.
see, just like that.
Call it the fun part, but really it's a skill you never want to use.
Self-arrest is really, it's a last resort because once you start sliding, especially if it's icy, it's not likely that you can stop yourself.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Truthfully, I have never fallen. I've never had to self-belay and I've never had to self-arrest. And I blame it on my snow school teacher when I first took a snow school that emphasized footwork over everything.
Roping up is another way to avoid falls higher on your climb. Yeah, it takes more time to set up, but it can protect you on those dangerous steep sections on the upper mountain.
Paige has gone up the hill to set a Sierra picket anchor, and Teresa's tied the rope onto my harness. I'm going to practice climbing on belay up this little slope here.
So there's a round rock at the top of the Hog's Back, and going to the left of it is the left gate, and going to the right of it is the right gate, the right pearly gate and the left pearly gate. Getting underneath that rock, where you can then make the choice to go either left or right, it's quite a steep traverse.
Is it cheating to start at Timberline? I mean, should we start at Rhododendron?
We could start a government camp.
Now, I had some exceptional teaching and we covered a lot.
You're just sliding on your butt down the hill and you're controlling your speed with your axe.
Coming from a beginner, don't underestimate the mountain and don't overestimate your skills. 1 foot in front of the other, the right gear and knowledge with good judgment just might get you safely to the summit, and more importantly, back home.
I think it's important if you're going to climb Mount Hood at any time of year to get proper professional instruction. And if you are unsure as to whether you have the proper instruction, you can always hire a guiding company, which I really do encourage.
So we got our gear, a little bit of safety training, and if you had to guess, what do you think's coming up next week? If you haven't figured it out yet, I guess you'll just have to tune in next week. I'm Jon Goodwin. Let's get out there.